we saw plumbing issues, right? You see your water
Yeah.
heater, for whatever reason, they go out. You have frozen pipes. We had 2 frozen pipe calls, but they thawed on their own. Like
Yeah.
they thawed out throughout the day because it hit 27 degrees. And so plumbing for us, it didn't get as bad. This sounds terrible to say, but how terrible it was didn't dictate any business over anything ridiculous like we saw in HVAC.
Yeah.
On the HVAC side, you want to hear some numbers. I turned off my LSA at 12:45 today. By 12:45, starting at 6, we got emails starting at 12:43 a.m. last night. Phone started ringing heavily around 7:30. And between 7:30 and 12:30, we had 180 calls on the board, or not on the board, but from LSA.
Like that's crazy.
Inbound LSA only. Like I only
Yeah.
counted the LSA because I just looked at the emails. So we had our regular customers on top of that. We had all of the groups we were in. My wife was
Yep.
promising people that we were going to help. I'm like, no,
You can't do
we
that.
are.
So 180 calls by 12:30. What's a normal day? Like, give me some perspective here.
40, 60 on a cold day. Maybe it's more than that, but no, it's probably around 60. We're running 60 calls incoming a day. And I'm referring to like lead calls. We get calls that are, hey, need you to come out, or hey, we want a quote, or hey, but I'm talking about like emergency service calls.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking at mine now. So we are 2,500 calls into the week. It's Wednesday night. So that's about probably 20% higher than what it usually would be. Now, what is going to be interesting is like, what's the mix between inbound and outbound? Because that's total calls. So I'd have to get a little bit deeper into the data, because we might have like outbounds has been a bigger portion to keep our 3-day call board up. But what I suspect happened is we roughly hit the same, like 20% higher capacity in phone calls, but much more of it was inbound. So that's interesting. I'm curious what happens
We are
tomorrow.
300% higher, just unhandleable.
Yeah.
We had our salespeople taking calls today as also running calls. We sold 5 or 6 units today, just ridiculous numbers, which is good, really good. We're doing 2-a-day installs on packages that have priority, or it's still icy roads and everything, and we're getting it done. But really good numbers. LSA, we didn't have LSA last year when we had the freeze. So the LSA this year really was a game changer, and I'm sure I paid way too much and should have turned it off earlier.
Yeah. I mean, it keeps you fed. Like the freeze that we had last December, I'm sure we said this last episode, but like that kept a few of our businesses busy for 30 to 60 days. Like our restoration business, they just sold 2 or 3 months of work in the past 3 days, and they're going to sell even more in the next couple days, which is just crazy.
Because are you expecting that during the thaw? Is that so? The
Oh, yeah.
thaw's going to hit.
The thaw's going to hit.
Pipes blow.
Yep.
Restoration flow. Yeah.
So we've only, they typically sell 3 to 4 jobs a week. We have been selling, we're at 6 this week, and like pipes haven't started thawing yet. Only a few, and those are the 6 that we sold. So that's going to turn into a pretty big situation here shortly. So that's going to be fun. So our numbers for the week, plumbing and electric have been doing okay. We've been struggling with conversions a little bit, which has been interesting in plumbing and electric. I think that's going to change again starting tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big thaw for us. So we'll see how that goes. I know like that's when everything happens in plumbing, is after the thaw.